The future belongs to authors who are entrepreneurial. Welcome to another Entrepreneur Secrets Live Masterclass. Today we're going to be talking about the three C's. The future belongs to authors who are entrepreneurial. Welcome to another Entrepreneur Secrets Live Masterclass. Today we're going to be talking about the three C's. The future belongs to authors who are Yes, sorry about that. I was getting feedback. So we're talking about entrepreneurship, and today I want to look at book sales, sharing three C's that I've discovered that can sustain your book sales over time and would also be crucial to your entrepreneurship growth and development. And there's a twist. When I wrote the 10 success tips to write and sell books that change life in this tiny book, which is a mini book, is an exception to the small books that I usually write, I was really reflecting on the Bible and how it has continued to sell as a book, as an anthology of books over the years. And I've been looking at some authors, both new and those who've been in the game a long time. What is it that they are doing that keeps their book selling, and those who've done well? And I've discovered three C's that I want to share. And I'm going to do that quickly this evening. All right, so we're live. I'm using Zoom live stream for the masterclass this evening rather than StreamYard. And so we're not going to play my introductory video that I normally play because I'm testing it out on this one. All right, so this is live, unrehearsed, showing up live. I don't have a PowerPoint this evening, and I'm going to keep it quite simple. All right. So this channel has been set up to be an education and equipping channel as I work towards achieving this goal of raising up 10,000 author entrepreneurs by 2030, or authorpreneurs, because that is the trajectory of where book publishing is going, especially for independent or self-published authors, for us to be successful. Now, most authors, whether traditionally published or independently published, don't make a full-time living with their writing. And so it's only a small percentage of authors who are writing as a career. This is like their 9-to-5 jobs. And many authors, especially those in the Caribbean, they write a book here and there. It is not what they're doing to make a full-time living. And for those of us who are making a full-time living with our books, very often it's books plus something else, which for me is the entrepreneurship model. But you do have authors who are just primarily selling books, and they treat it, their job as an author, like a regular 9-to-5. They are writing and producing several books per year, and very often they have found, and I'm going to talk about the first C, they found a community of readers who are eager for their information. And so as I reflect on the Bible, which I believe is the world's best-selling book, translated into so many different languages, one of the things that keeps the Bible selling is because the Bible is connected to a community. That's the Christian community. Seth Godin, the marketing genius, was the one that talked about having your tribe. And if you have your 1,000 faithful tribe or community or group, then you would be able to sell enough of whatever you are marketing and selling to be able for it to be sustainable. So your 1,000 true fans. And I find that if you have community, that you are able to sell more books if your book is connected to a community. So for me, I'm building an author community. I want to empower authors. I also do personal development. For the romance writers and those who are selling books, those who are promoting books, the book marketers, very often what they do is that they built a community of like-minded individuals, of people who like your genre, and then they are able to promote the different books, and the books are sold. So whether that is BookBub, a community of romance readers, for if we're looking, for example, at what was a Game of Thrones, you have this community, right? It all started as a book. If you're looking at the Bridgerton series, there's a community of readers who were who loved the Bridgerton books or were fascinated by it. And so how can we do that as Caribbean authors, as new authors? If you're able to tie your book to a community, then that will help to sustain the sales. When we look at the Bible, for example, the Christian community, the book plays an integral part of our faith. It is tied to it. You should be meditating on it day and night. It is used in liturgy. It is our lifestyle. We are the people of the book. And so, for example, a book that we released this week, this is Monsters Within, a memoir on dealing with cancer. This documents Vivi Willie, the author's journey right now as she is battling cancer. The doctors gave her 4 months to live. And she's beyond that now, but she documents the journey. This book could be tied to an organization. If this book is tied to a community, and that community can be an organization that is concerned about cancer society. If this book is tied to a community that supports cancer survivors, that supports families of persons who are battling this dreaded disease, then this would be sustainable. So if you find, the key is to find your community or to find your tribe. So as an author, you have to think about who is your audience, which community would most likely support what I am doing. And if you can tie your book and make it relevant to a particular community, you would ensure book sales. That can be small communities. You can find a community or build a community. So for the entrepreneurship movement, I am building a community of entrepreneurs. They're primarily on Facebook, the Indie Entrepreneurs Facebook group. Even in teaching, the Entrepreneur Secrets Academy membership group, that's a community. And whenever I use one of my books to create a course or what I call a membership group, it is still a community. And anything within that community, the book plays, it's usually like the text or the guidebook. And so again, if you're able to create a community around your book or to find a community that will support your book based on what you have written, that's a good way to ensure sales, because this fan club will run with it. And what many of the best-selling authors do is that they often, if they have several books, they have a free book that they give away for persons to join their community. And there are different things that they do to build community, whether that is through a Kickstarter. Some people have a Patreon community that people actually pay buy them a coffee to be a part of it. Some people use the social media network to build that community. It's the same thing, your Instagram followers, your YouTube followers, that's community you're building. And so if you can, when tie your community to your book, it would help. When Pat Flynn wrote Will It Fly, he had already, through the podcast, built up a community. And then he involved them in terms of telling them that he was writing a book. They gave him feedback. And so by the time the book came out, he already had a community. He already had a tribe. And so the books sold. The same thing with Dr. Terry Carell. She already over the years had built up her community, her tribe, her followers. And so that when she launched her book, there was a community. And then as you grow that community and you make the book an essential part of it, it goes hand in hand. So that's the first C, there is community. No, I'm not giving them in order of priority. The second C, in terms of sustaining book sales and even your own entrepreneurship business, to become a successful entrepreneur and to earn sustainable income, if you are able to find a cause. So the first C is community. The second one is cause. What cause could you tie to your book? Like I said, with this one, it could be a cause to, Vivi Willie wants to bring hope and healing to those who are suffering from cancer. She wants to bring attention to the disparity in the healthcare system, that sometimes because of the color of your skin, if you are Black, sometimes you don't get the best health care. And so, again, the cause. So if, for example, she wanted to support persons, she can encourage persons to buy gifts. But if it is advocacy, a cause, then she could encourage persons to buy this book. Suppose she wants to invest in cancer treatment and helping persons with to finance the cancer treatment, then she could tie this book to that cause and encourage persons to buy the book. It could be used to open doors that she could do a talk or speak, or the family members could do that and then use it to raise funds for the cause or for enlightenment. And once you have a cause, then and you tie a book to it, you ensure that that goes on. Every year, there are cancer runs, there are various things that people have created to support a cause. And if your book is in support of a cause, then that will help you to sell. In more recent time, there's a children's book author, Joel Numdarkhan. He wrote a book about 30 creative careers. It's a children's book, but part of the cause is that, one, he wants more people to go, young people to have creative careers, and he's promoting literacy. And so he was able to bring on board a foundation, a sponsor to print 1,000 copies, and he's going from school to school, I think across 8 different islands, to promote literacy and to promote more involvement in the creative careers. I could bring up that. So it's called futuremakers.com. And I can bring that up, and it's gaining traction. No, if the cause is something that's ongoing and your book is tied to it, then you would be ensuring long-term sales. So the book, you can gift the book, contact us. The cultural and creative industries are booming with an 8% annual rate, outpacing many traditional sectors. The other thing, he wants to get boys to continue to read. You know, he wants more boys to read. And so with this cause, he's visiting places, taking the books. And he says so far, they've positively impacted 500 boys across 3 different Caribbean islands. Now, if you're passionate about educating and empowering boys and about the creative industries and increasing literacy. That's a cause. And if your book is supporting that, then people will want to buy the book. And so discover creative careers. And so you can gift books. And this can be done perennially, sorry. So it's not a one-time thing. So if your book is connected to a cause, that will help it to sell more. So what cause can you connect your book to? For me, small book, big impact. The cause is to encourage more people to write and to start off with a small book to get a big win. No, this is a small book. It's about 20,000 words. It's not too small. It's digestible. This one is intentionally very small to make a point, but it's a quick set of tips just to an affirmation and prompts to get you writing. So the cause of writing and preserving our culture and getting people to support that, and my book is connected to that, then it will work. What if your cause is about strengthening relationships, timeless causes, then that is one way to ensure your books are sold, especially if you want to sell directly to, then you can, like Joel, you can go from island to island, you can go from country to country. Once you tie your book to a cause, then you can introduce yourself to new audiences, and that's a massive way, a big way to increase your book sales. And if your business is tied to a cause too, then that also helps to push it. And so we've covered 2 C's. The first one is community. So if you tie your book to a community, or you get connected to a community of readers, or a community around your cause, then the book will sell. And I use the Bible as an example. It's connected to the Christian community. So as the Christian community grows, Bibles must sell because it's an integral part of it. If you tie a book to a cause, the cause of human flourishing, the cause of literacy, the cause of curing cancer, the cause of reforestation, whatever the cause is, and if you tie your book to it, it will sell. The final C is, and I'm going blank for a moment there. So it's community, cause, and the third C is campaign. So if you build a campaign, and the dictionary defines a campaign as it's a strategy around a goal, right? So if you build a campaign around the cause and around the community, you can ensure that the books are sold. So for example, one of the strategies we often use is we say you can start a pre-order campaign. You build a strategic effort towards the thing. And so if you build a campaign around the cause and involve the community, then the book will sell. Now that campaign can include social media. That campaign involving the community can be creative. You can produce videos. It could be that campaign is a 60-day campaign, a 90-day campaign. It can be a campaign that culminates in an event. So very often, like when we're doing a book launch, we often build a campaign around a book launch, and we say we want X number of books to be sold. And so all eyes are on the book launch, and everything that we are doing is around it. And I'm saying if you campaign around a cause with your book, that strategic effort of doing a set of activities to achieve a goal, then you would be able to sell more books. So say your book has something to do with women. Every March, which is International Women's Month, you could build a campaign to highlight women who are doing well. And if your book is an integral part of that, suppose your book is about stories of successful women entrepreneurs, Then you can build a campaign around that in the month of March each year, encourage people to buy the book, and you can come up with creative ways to incentivize them. It could be that you want the books to donate to an organization or something, but if you build a campaign around a cause and a community, a strategic effort, then you would be able to sustain the sales. And there are a number of ways for that. So like right now, I'm launching another book, Better Than I Dreamed, as part of my 10-year anniversary. And so I can build a campaign around that in terms of giving hope and encouragement to others that your future can be better than you dream. I want to have like launch a book club, have the anniversary service. And so in the months leading up to that, or if it's an entire year, 1-year campaign, I can do that. And you can have things that you do every year. For the entrepreneurs, if your book is on entrepreneurship, you know, every November is Global Entrepreneurship Week. So leading up to Global Entrepreneurship Week, if your book is on entrepreneurship, like the one we shared in the last series, which is From the Margins, the author of From the Margins could do something every year for Global Entrepreneurship Week, launch a campaign that would get people to buy his book, support a cause, if it is to get more emerging businesses. For example, when I was up by, or if you go on I think the UTEX site, there is something about 100 businesses in 1,000 days. So if you have a book on businesses and startups, or 100 startups in 1,000 days, you could align yourself to that cause, to that community, and build a campaign around it to help to have more startups, tie your book to it. And so you would be both creating impact and income. That's all I'm saying. So 3 C's, I'm sure there are others, because with the community, you have to be able to connect with them. And part of your campaign can include another C, which is content marketing. You're offering valuable information to your community, you're connecting with them, and you are building trust, and you are empowering them, and you know, they will have the book. So I trust that these 3 C's will help you. What are the 3 C's again that can help to sustain book sales? They are community, cause, and campaign. And all 3 of them work together nicely. So if you can build a campaign around a certain cause and tap into a certain community or build the community, then you can have ongoing sales. With the Book of Ruth, for example, it's around the community of Israel. Each year, they have the Feast of Shavuot, and they have this, so it is going to be read every year. There's this event that is going to be there, and I'm sure they engage in strategic planning and everything to bring the people together. And you could call that a campaign. And so if you are able to write something that has timeless relevance, a cause that is ongoing, whether that is, for example, with this one, cancer treatment. Cancer treatment is so expensive, and finding a cancer cure and helping families and people, you know, the big C, it's dreaded, so much pain. If you can assist in the cure and the healing, and your book can play a part to it, and you can tie in with that cause, and you build a campaign around it, whether it's a social media campaign, whether it's a blending campaign, if it's a cause of honoring women, I'm just throwing out different causes. You can come up with your own cause. I am building a campaign around Vision 2030. And so this book here is towards that, and I'm building a community. And so as long as I'm teaching and between now and 2030, the books related to that campaign. So this book is part of that to encourage, because to become an entrepreneur, you first have to become an author. So this book is part of it. And this book is inexpensive. It's what, $5? Online, you can get the print book, $2.99, the ebook. And in Jamaica, I'll just be basically almost giving these away $1,000, but it will help to get you a quick win. And yeah, I think if you adopt those 3 C's, you'll be able to sell more books. So small book, big impact. I want to read the testimonial that has come in for it and encourage you to get it. And you can start small. You don't have to start off with a big campaign if it's going to be intimidating. You can choose a cause that is near and dear to your heart. And if you think like this as well, you can write books in a better manner. So don't just, some people just write for the joy of it, write for the fun of creation. But if you're thinking strategically and you want to sell books, you have to think cause and community as you are writing the book so that you can ensure book sales. And so this book is to help authors to get a quick win. And here's what one reviewer had to say. This tiny book, which can be consumed in one sitting, is a powerful reminder that little things can have a big impact. Simple, practical, and packed with actionable steps. I now have a few new ideas of short books and I want to write and release. So the aim of this is to encourage more people to write and publish. And it's part of the Vision 2030 campaign. And with that, tying it to that, at least for the next 5 years or so, this book will be relevant to that campaign, to a particular community and cause. So what campaign, what cause, and what community can you build around your book? Put it in the chat. And remember, as we close, of making many books, there is no end. This is Ruth Taylor saying, go pen it to win it and dominate entrepreneurship. Ta for now until our next master class next week, Thursday at 6 p.m. Jamaica time. Bye.